Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Excel Saturdays Tips and Tricks. As you might know that I did not make a video last Saturday, and the reason why was because I actually made this spreadsheet and planned out my next 5 lessons, and also midterm season, right? So now, I would like to shout out to my coworkers for supporting me and sharing my video throughout the branch. Thank you very much, guys. And thanks for some of my friends for tips like turning the music down so everyone can hear me better. Now, yes, I'm going to make the Saturday series to be bi-weekly. Hope you guys don't mind. School is kind of busy, work as well. So anyhow, I would like to show you guys some of the things I have done, and start with lesson 1. But first, I would just want to show that there are some cool stuff online. It's all about government in Canada, how they're trying to make it to be more transparent to the people in Canada, and they impose something called Opendata, where there's actually a lot of cool raw data for just Excel fanatics to just go on and start analyzing data for fun, like what I did. So I actually looked into fuel consumption ratings on vehicles and cars, and it's actually very interesting. You can figure out what cars are more fuel efficient, things like that. So here you go. Like I look at this data, and there's so much potential for this data, and I'm actually going to start using this data for our later videos when we need to show you some of my favorite functions like VLOOKUPs, COUNTIFs, match, things like that. So without further ado, we're going to start with lesson 1, and that does not require any data. We're going to talk about some of the quick keyboard shortcuts and quick tips. My bad. So the first thing first, we have to understand what's within an Excel cell. So within every cell, there's actually a format. So that is highlighting it, making it bold, and there's also the content inside, and then there's also the having words in there or numbers. So now another thing is, oh, that's weird. Another thing is, lastly, there's actually things called comments. So you can actually insert a comment into any cell, which is really useful because you don't want to mess up your friends or colleagues their data and their analyses. So if you want to give them a note on a specific cell, all you gotta do is right click. I already inserted the comment, so edit comment, and now you can say, hey, Rain says good job. Yeah, so it's really useful. Alright, so we're going to start with a quick shortcut to edit a cell. So pressing F2 is actually very useful, because when you originally go into a cell, if it's blank and you start typing, you replace blank with the things that you type. But if there's already something that's inside it, and you type some stuff, it will replace it. So to not do that, press ESC to get back to what it was before, and now press F2 to start from the last letter, which is really cool because the last, not letter, but last thing is 9. So start 10, 11, 12, right? I got a bunch of stuff. So alright, so that's first thing first. Now secondly, this is really cool. Many people are gonna love this. So here I have a table, a data table, and we're gonna talk about how to make a quick graph. Some people who I know ask me, Rain, how do you make a graph the fastest way possible? And I tell them, Alt F1. So here you see me selecting this data right here, right? I used my mouse, but you could also just click here, Control Shift down to get to the last. Select everything to the border of your data table. We'll actually talk about more of that later on over here. So anyhow, so here, once you select the data table, all you gotta do is Alt F1. Boom! Look at that. We got the data on number of pets. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's saying that Crazy has 2 pets. I have 5. All right. Yeah. So, and what's really cool about Excel is if you just enter some random numbers, your data will actually change. So, 1 pet? No, not really. I have 0 pets. Sadly, I wish I had pets. All right. So now, third, we're going to talk about some really interesting stuff. So, as you guys saw last video, I showed you guys Alt equals. So when you hold Alt and press equals, it's actually a quick way to do auto sum, which is summing. But this is so much quicker. Why don't you just use Alt equals? So Alt equals, and then Alt equals over here, enter. Now you have basically summing the entire thing. And if you want to drag it over, I personally actually just start from here, and you hold Shift, right to the last, and then what I would do was fill that formula all the way to the right. So Control R is the quick key for that. So Control R, boom, we got 20, 30. That makes sense because there are 10 of those 5s and 6s and 7s. All right, so yeah, it's Alt equals and Control R is super useful. Now, next thing I'm going to show you is how to navigate through Excel in the fastest way possible. And in my opinion, it's you use the arrow keys. So if you do hold Control, well, first of all, if you want to move one cell at a time, you just use your arrow keys. But if you want to move to the edge of your data table, you hold Control, press to that direction, and you actually get to 10. Look at that, 10. Back to 10. All right, so yeah, it's really useful. So Control down, that works too. And if you want to select a cell or more than one cell at a time, you can just hold Shift. That works really well. And then you hold Shift and press the arrow keys, of course. Now another thing is, what if you use Control and Shift? Well, I already showed you guys that it actually selects the entire data table, which is extremely useful when you have 5,000 lines of data. At work, I have to look at assets that's over, 10,000 lines. So it would be a pain to just scroll all the way down. So instead, just start at one cell, Control down to the last cell that has the data in it. All right, so we're going to talk about some other cool things, some cool tips and tricks. All right, shortcut key, Control page up, Control page down. All right, so this is really useful as well. Control page up, page down actually allows you to navigate through the tabs. So hold Control, press page down, and we can look at all these cool tabs that the lessons we're going to go through in the future, of course. Yeah, it's awesome. Now, what's even cooler is if you stop using the page up down, hold Control and press Tab, you actually change to another cell, another file. So look at this. Oh, the MY 2014 field consumption rating. Oh, isn't that just what I just downloaded right here? Yes, it is. All right, so go back, Control. See, I can switch between 2 different files really quickly without me having to use my mouse, go down, just go click over here and stuff. So it's really useful. Now, Control D is going to be our next function that next shortcut that we're going to go through. So let's say I want to sum this row of data here. So if I press this, so Alt equals again, I get 54. All right. So what if I want to copy this this formula all the way down to here? Well, there's an easy way. All you gotta do is Control D to drop it down. All right. So now you see sum over here. It's 35, 30, E35, M35. Over here it's going to be E36, M36. And 36 just means the rows. So it moves as you, because you didn't put an absolute or locked it, so it actually worked really well. So that's Control D. It's awesome. Now Control R we already talked about. So, oh yeah, right. So outline. Okay, this is really interesting. Having the outline, like to make a table that looks nice, it's actually really important at work. Of course, gotta make your managers happy. So here I just have a bunch of no borders. So if I want to make this to be more meaningful and actually add borders, it would be really awesome. So if I would select the data within to have borders. So Control Shift right, but then I don't want to add that something. So Control Shift down, and then hold Shift, release Control, go up. Now I can capture the raw data before I sum them all. So now again with the awesome outline thing shortcut, you just do Control Shift 7, because Shift 7 is the and sign, and as you can see right here, Control plus and actually work. So look right here, we have a nice table laid here. All right, actually I'm just going to it's I believe it's a formatting error. Yeah, so there's just a small formatting error. I'm gonna try over here actually. Here, look at this. Have no border first of all. Control Shift 7. Oh look, we have a cool border. Now data, Control Shift 7. Name of pets, Control Shift 7. I want to add this, Control Shift 7. Look how nice that data table looks. Awesome. So, alright, so next thing we're going to go talk about these Alt shortcuts. These Alt shortcuts are actually so useful. You have no idea. It's awesome. So Alt shortcuts are actually are quite easy to use actually. So imagine we have this data thing, right? And we had no merge center before. See that data is on the left. If I select the two cells and I want to merge and center them, I could go press that. But you gotta understand, sometimes you're at the insert part or insert ribbon or the data ribbon. So how do I quickly merge and center that two cells? Well, if you press Alt, you can see that there's a floating navigation letter right on the ribbon. So Alt H M for merging, C for center. That's all you gotta do. And you don't even need to use your mouse. You can really just throw this out, to be honest. I just need to use my, I just like having the keyboard. It's so much faster. Alright, so now over here, we're actually going to go to how to eliminate blanks. This is actually really useful. I actually learned this from my old manager from a previous co-op term. He's the greatest Excel wizard of them all. So he showed me that if you do, if you select them all first, right? So basically what we're trying to do is eliminate all these empty cells, blanks, because we don't want them. All right. So once you select them all, what you do is F5, which is go to. So once you click go to, you press you click specials and you click blanks, click OK, and it selects all the blanks that all the cells that don't have a value within. And now what you do is you click delete, which is in home. So delete, and look at that. We have a list of numbers now. And now this list of numbers does not have blanks within them, which is extremely important when you're doing some sort of data analysis. Alright. Thank you guys for checking out my Excel Saturday tips and trick lesson number 2. I really appreciate the views, and I hope to see you guys next 2 Saturdays from now on. Don't forget to check out Opendata.canada.ca because there are actually a lot of really useful data. Like if you ever want to make a purchase decision on what car to buy, well, I would look at all these fuel consumptions. So yeah, great things. See you guys in 2 Saturdays.